why insecurities appear, trauma in unsafe environments. I mean, y'all can attest to that, you know. Remember I said before that a lot of times if we are hyper defensive or we're in a hostile environment, we're in survival mode rather than thriving. We become very hostile. And we become very hyper defensive when someone says something to us because of the past, the unmet needs, and the unresolved trauma that that needs to be addressed in our development from a baby to preschool, adolescent, on and on until you get to adult. If it's not dealt with, it becomes worse. And we could try to compensate for it by way of maybe a title or money that we have acquired. But beneath that, the insecurities are still what? Still there. Still there. And then we deal with the shame cycles of shame. And then we develop what we call false what? Confidence.
Yeah.
From substances. It makes sense to you?
That's why I started using it in the first place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Now, why people deny insecurities? This is right. Defense mechanism. A lot of times we want to defend and protect our ego, so we go about trying to suppress our emotions, or we become, once again, as I said, very defensive. Very, very defensive. Which means that we become easily offended. Easily offended. And avoid attachment, which means we really avoid attaching ourselves to certain people, you know. And this is not, you know, dispersion of anyone. Sometimes we're dealing with insecurities. We may not even participate. We may not even participate, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of unmet needs, unresolved trauma there. That's why we need the professionals, the clinical help, or the therapists that we need to see to help us through this, you know. Because we've been disappointed and let down. And a lot of times we don't want to let nobody else down. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to let nobody, so we'll run away from accountability. We'll run away from accountability. Because we have been disappointed. And then we got fear of what? Vulnerability. We fear what? Putting ourselves out there of being vulnerable. And what we shared today in the lesson, we put out our vulnerabilities. You know, you did it. You know, some of you all did it. You put out your vulnerabilities. Yes. But then there's the clinical signs. You know, some people can become dealing with the emotional shame of hypersensitivity. They become hypersensitive. What someone says, I mean, we're at an all-time high of being, you know, hyper and being very sensitive. And then we deal with the behavior, the clinical sign. The behavior is that, once again, defensiveness, and perfectionism. Remember, we should not focus on perfection, but we should focus on the progress that we're making. Focus on the progress. And then, you know, I always got to fix it. I always got to make it right. You know how it is in religious set. I ain't going to come to God or the church until I'm what? Until I'm right. Well, you got to come what? As you are. You know, I can't come to the program until I stop this or stop that. No. Just what? Just come. That's all. You know what Nike says? Just what? Just do it. Just do it. Then the cognitive part, negative what? Self-belief. Remember I said to you before, if nobody else believes in you, you should do what? Believe in yourself. You want to develop a positive belief system about yourself. And all systems come out of a mentality. Your mentality. There are some treatment approaches, cognitive behavioral therapy for distorted thoughts, We did that the other day when it comes to your feelings, your thoughts, your feelings and your behavior. Then we would, deal with some trauma-informed work. These are just approaches, attachment-based healing. That's why you want to be with a network group that's going to help you on this journey for change. You want to be with a positive support network group that's going to help you on this journey for change. And you don't want to be around nobody that's going to, as an enabler partner, but you want to be somebody that holds you up accountable. Yes. Motivation, interviewing, and self-worth reconstruction. That means you want to reconstruct your self-worth. You deserve it. Whatever it is that you want out of life, don't sell yourself short. You deserve it. So go ahead and make it happen. Possibly some of you all could be here because you may feel as though that you have been underserved, devalued, and unappreciated.